Once upon a time, there was a wise grandfather who lived in a small village. He was known throughout the village for his wisdom and compassion, and many people came to him for guidance and advice. One day, his grandson came to him and asked, "Grandfather, why is there so much anger and hate in the world? Why do people hurt each other?" The grandfather took his grandson by the hand and led him outside to sit under a tree. He looked at his grandson and said, "My child, inside each of us, there are two wolves that are constantly battling for control. One wolf is filled with anger, envy, jealousy, greed, and resentment. The other wolf is filled with love, compassion, kindness, generosity." The grandson looked at his grandfather and asked, "Which wolf wins?" The grandfather smiled and said, "The wolf that wins is the one that we feed." The grandson was confused and asked, "What do you mean, grandfather? How do we feed the wolves?" The grandfather explained, "Every thought we have, every action we take, every word we say, feeds one of the two wolves. If we choose to think kind thoughts, do good deeds, and speak with compassion, we are feeding the wolf of love and kindness. But if we choose to think angry thoughts, do harmful deeds, and speak with hate, we are feeding the wolf of anger and hate." The grandson thought about this for a moment and then asked, "But grandfather, how do we know which wolf we are feeding?" The grandfather replied, "We know which wolf we are feeding by the way that we feel. If we feel angry, resentful, and unhappy, we are feeding the wolf of anger and hate. But if we feel peaceful, content, and joyful, we are feeding the wolf of love and kindness." The grandson thought about this for a moment and asked, "Grandfather, how do we make sure that we are feeding the right wolf?" The grandfather smiled and said, "My child, it takes practice and mindfulness. We must learn to be aware of our thoughts, actions, and words. We must learn to choose kindness, compassion, and forgiveness over anger, hate, and resentment. We must learn to feed the wolf of love and kindness so that it may grow strong and more powerful than the wolf of anger and hate." The grandson listened carefully to his grandfather's words, and he realized that he had the power to choose which wolf he would feed. From that day forward, the grandson became known throughout the village for his kindness, his compassion, and his love. He made friends easily and was always willing to lend a helping hand. He knew that he had the power to choose which wolf he would feed, and he chose to feed the wolf of love and kindness every day.